All right, welcome to the Superkickin' It with Steven WrestleMania edition. That's right, we are finally here. WrestleMania 37. Almost forgot which year, but that's okay. WrestleMania 2 nights extravaganza. So excited. Real fans back there. I think they've got about 25-ish thousand fans there. So that's going to be really cool to have that energy back that we've been missing on the shows this year. So I cannot do the show alone because it is WrestleMania. So I'm going to bring on Greg Williams, who's a lifelong fan. First time to the show. We're going to break his Superkickin' with Steven Cherry. So let's bring him on right now. Hey, Greg, how are you doing?
Steven, I'm so hyped, man. I'm ready for this to go down. Fans are back. We are back. Let's get it, man.
I'm really excited. That's the thing. I think some of these shows, like at first, without the Thunderdome aspect, we could hear a lot. And I think that was really cool. In those early those early few months, like Asuka, I loved hearing everything Asuka would say in the ring. Bayley was really good in the ring with that. Drew McIntyre was really good. So, but obviously it's missing. That's what, us, the fans, sometimes make the show or sometimes we make it a crap show. But, I got my other guest coming on too. So let's see if we can bring him on too. This is my former co-host, Jay. We were podcasting together, video chatting for about 5 years, talking WWE. So here we go. Let's bring on Jay as well. Jay, are you there with us?
Can you hear me, Stephen A?
I can hear you, definitely.
Am I loud enough? Is it good?
You're good. You're black. Do you want to come on camera? Or
yeah, I didn't know this was a cam up. I came up here in a minute. I can cam up in like...
You're good. Don't worry about it. So we got Greg on here. It is his first time on the show. We got Jay down there. First time on the show. Jay, are you excited for WrestleMania this weekend?
You know what? I am. You know what? Because, it's 2 nights again. You got night 1, and if that doesn't meet your needs, hey, you got night 2. So I think there's enough matches here. There's enough star power here to, have a good show, have a good night. So I'm ready for it.
And what do you think, Greg? Do you think I personally think they should stick to 2 nights. Now they're not going to the next year and the year after that. Do you think we should stick to 2 nights?
I'm going to reserve my opinion for after this one because last year was different. It was a necessity. They had to do it. This year with the live crowds back and everything, it could be a different story. Plus, there's the aspect of, when they had WrestleMania and they made a big deal out of talking about there are, 50,000 people from 100 different countries coming here to see this. Thinking of it from that aspect, when people come from out of town to see WrestleMania, they're not going to get a cheaper ticket for going to 1 out of 2 nights. It's going to be even more expensive. And that whole process of doing WrestleMania 2 nights after, fans are back allowed, it could be a whole different ball of wax. And I know for me, I attended my first WrestleMania 4 years ago, WrestleMania 33, and had an amazing time. But I think I would have felt a little ripped off if I only got to see half the card because I only bought enough for 1 night. And as it is, like I said, they're not going to give you a discount for going to both nights. They're still going to be charging you a premium to go to both nights.
Yeah, and that's what's it. I think, too, I wonder if next year they'll bring back access in some point because we've not seen, they didn't do anything like that this year. But I do hope they bring that because that, to me, that's one of the best parts of Mania other than, attending it. And just seeing wrestlers, in the random. Sometimes you're just walking by and you'll see a wrestler walking or like, we go ahead. Oh, okay. So anyways, should we get to predicting?
Sure.
Are we ready to just throw out the prediction? So I'm going to bring this up. Hopefully everyone can see that. All right. So this is night 1. We already know starting off the night will be Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Now, I know it's so weird to have your WWE champion open the night, but I think we personally need to do that because I want that first pop of the night to go to, just to really solidify what the night's going to be about. And I think people want to see Drew and Lashley just tear down the house in the opening match. And I think Drew wants that opening pop. He's kind of selfish in that regard, and he's earned it, I think, personally. And Lashley, I mean, you look at where Lashley came from, the whole stuff with Sami Zayn at the very beginning of his, return, and then the Lio Rush stuff, which kind of was catching on, but I think they hated that it was catching on. Then the stuff with Lana, and now he's finally booked the way he should have been booked from the beginning. So I want to know, Greg, who is walking out the WWE champion after the opening match?
Well, I feel for Drew, given he had his big moment last year and didn't get to have it in front of fans. And I know this is going to be a big tone setter for the rest of the night. I'm not a big fan of having the championship match be the first match. I think that's not unworthy of where it belongs, but I get it. That being said, I love Lashley as the champ. He is that unbeatable heel, that guy you're going to look at him and go, how are you going to stop that guy? And I think it's too early in his reign to take the belt from him. I wouldn't like that. And I'm a Drew McIntyre fan. I've enjoyed everything he's done during the whole pandemic era. He was one of the heroes of the pandemic era so far. And so that being said, I think there's some hook or crook way that Lashley is going to find to keep his championship. So I think he retains.
All right. And Jay, what do you got in this match? Who's walking out the WWE champion after it's all said and done?
I want to agree with Greg so bad, but I think they're going to give it to Drew. I think this was just a short run for Bobby, and I think they want Drew to be that top guy. So I think they're going to let him capture back the WWE championship. Bobby's reign has been how long?
He got it at a Raw after Money in the Bank. Or no, Miz cashed in Money in the Bank at Elimination Chamber, beat Drew. Lashley beat The Miz.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just for Bobby.
So like 2 months, 2.5 months maybe.
I think it's just more so, having a better opponent. I mean, it could have been The Miz, but The Miz is not there, so it's Bobby. And I think in opening up night one, this would be great for Bobby, but I think I'm going to my official prediction. Stephen A., I'm going to be smart. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's the thing. I agree with Greg. It's so early in Lashley's reign, but then I think this is the opening match. I feel like you want to get the crowd amped. So I'm going to say Drew gets it back. And it's kind of crazy because this is going to be his third title reign. He should have never lost it to Randy Orton. That's what the biggest thing is. He should have never lost it to Randy Orton. I still don't understand what that was about, other than it gave Orton something to do. But so even if Drew would have lost it maybe to The Miz and then got it back now, I think that would have been okay because he still would have had it. But I'm going to say Drew, and like Greg said, will be some hook or crook way, like Keith Lee. Sorry, did I say that out loud? We need somebody to help. I think MVP made it known the Hurt business isn't done yet, even though, let's face it, Shelton and Cedric, after last night's events, they're done. I just can't see where they're going to go, but it's going to be Drew McIntyre, in my mind, to pick up the win, just because, like we said, it's opening the night. I don't think you want to get the crowd off your side yet. There might be other matches that might do that, but I'm going to say Drew. Let's go to the easiest match to predict both nights. Easiest prediction ever. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. There's no way in hell that Bad Bunny and Damian Priest are losing this match. I am interested to see how Bad Bunny is going to do. They gave him a lot of mic time on Monday night, but he seems like he wants to do it more so than Logan Paul, who looked completely lost out there last week. I don't know what. I was really surprised Logan Paul, who has a YouTube presence and all this, but that last Friday night SmackDown, Logan Paul looked like he had nothing to do with that. But Bad Bunny seems interested in doing this. Damian Priest looks more ready for the main roster than I thought he would be. And I'm still trying to figure out what Damian Priest's character is, but The Miz and John Morrison, they can lose and they'll be fine. They'll come back next week and do whatever they're going to do next. But this is my easiest prediction. I'll just say my prediction. Obviously, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest will go backwards. So, Jay, is there any way Bad Bunny and Damian Priest lose this match?
Hey, there's a chance. No, I was kidding. I agree with you, Stephen. Bad Bunny, the celebrities, when they have matches, they win. Superstars don't need to win. They can come back next week. They can come back on the next week. The next night on Raw, like you said. So I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to go with Priest and Bad Bunny, of course.
All right. And Greg, are you going against the grain here?
No. I agree that the celebrities get their moment, and unless your name is Pete Rose, and you go over. So there's no doubt Priest and Bunny are going to win this.
And the Miz is such a good guy to put in there because he's going to sell the hell out of Bad Bunny's stuff, and he's going to put Bad Bunny over. I don't know what Bad Bunny does after this, and I think Damian Priest will keep moving up because, like I said, it's funny to see him NXT style and now, and I feel like he just wanted to be on the main roster from the start, and he looks ready for that. Let's go. This one I cannot believe we're getting at WrestleMania. Cesaro's first singles match at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. This one is, I think they're really going to try to burn the house down with this. Yes, they fought on the independent scene for years, but now to get their WrestleMania moment and to think of night 2, we're going to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens going at it. Like if you would have told indie fans 10 years ago, we're going to see these single matches at WrestleMania, they probably would have thought you're crazy. But, Greg, I would love to hear your thoughts. Cesaro, Seth Rollins, who are you going with?
I'm loving the build for this. It's already so simple and easy. About the swing, which has been done how many times? 22 now, I think, because they've counted it on the show. Who knows how many times. But Cesaro's been an underrated talent for a long time. We've only seen him in tag teams or doing like 3-minute matches when he is so much better than that. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from him so far. I think this guy's going to have a great shot at being the match that steals the show tonight. Seth being Seth, the gimmick aside, that whole Easter egg outfit thing that he got with the last Monday night, what in the world was that? But when he gets in the ring, he goes down. And so I'm looking forward to a banger of a match between these two. And I'm going to put my vote in the hat of Cesaro, get his WrestleMania moment, and finally get off that mid-card ass into a guy who can be a real player at the top.
Yeah, and not just have a Andre the Giant Battle Royal win to his belt that meant nothing after he won it, which it should have. But anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Jay, you going with Cesaro or are you going with the drip of Seth Rollins?
Stephen A., I want to see who you go with because
I already know. I love Seth. I love Seth Rollins so much. I really do.
You do.
But I know Cesaro needs this match, and it's got to be Cesaro. And I think Seth, knowing what Cesaro means to the company, Seth is going to do everything he can to put Cesaro over. Because Seth is, he's had his time in the limelight. And I think, honestly, these past couple of years, he's really tried to put guys over. I mean, Austin Theory, he tried to do that. And obviously, Austin Theory had his own issues outside the ring. The Buddy Murphy stuff, that should have went so much further than it did. But unfortunately, it didn't. Now we're just going to disregard the eye for an eye match, whatever that was. But this is all Cesaro's moment. And I think if we didn't have Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre opening, this should have opened up the night, honestly. I think this would have been that moment to put Cesaro over, to give him the big pop. But so I think this will be right in the middle of the night just to kind of give it that Mania moment. So Jay, are you going to go with Seth?
You know me, I'm going to be different. I'm going to Seth Rollins for sure. Cesaro has that swing. He's in swinging. He's going to use that. It's going to come close, but I don't think the swing is going to give him the win. It's going to be Seth Rollins. I'm not betting against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I never did. I don't think so, Stephen A. I'm always going with Seth Rollins.
You're always Seth. I know. You're Seth.
Tough match, though. It's going to be a good match.
And it's interesting to think about Seth Rollins now. I mean, he's still not that old, but he's already kind of in that veteran mode where he wants to put guys over.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, on the Twitter, people hate him and all this. He does say a lot. But in the ring, like Greg said, in the ring, he's one of the best. Yeah. You know, and he does what he can with anybody he works with. So let's go. Let's just get this out of the way. Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. You know, I don't know why they didn't just say the Hell in a Cell match, but whatever. So we're going to get the old school steel cage match. I'll go first. I'm going to say Braun. I'm not confident, as you could tell, but Shane doesn't need any more wins ever again in the history of WWE. So I'm going to say Braun, but I don't think Braun's going to win, but I'll just say him anyway. So Jay, Braun and Shane.
Oh, I can see these two battling. Shane's going to get his spot.
Who?
Oh, who you going? Gray?
Who are you going, Jay?
It's tough because it can go either way. Shane's gonna get his spot. Can Shane get the win? I don't see Strowman. I'm not confident in Strowman. I don't know why. I'm gonna go with Shane McMahon. Spot. Something's gonna happen. Some interference. I don't know what's gonna happen. Or Strowman's just gonna toss him out and meant to toss him the other way. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna fall into Shane McMahon's favor. Something's gonna have to happen. Of course, he can't be Strowman up straight up front. So I think that's too obvious. It's too bold. I'm going to go with Sheamus. I'm going to go on a limb here with Sheamus. I'm sorry, with Shane McMahon, not Sheamus.
Don't worry, Sheamus will wrestle too. But anyways, Greg, who do you got in this fantastic barn burner of a feud?
Oh, geez. You may as well call it Shane McMahon jumps off of something match that they have to have once a year. I'm just calling it for Braun just because of the whole angle that they're working, you know, being called a dummy or stupid, and Braun's last pro, which was the worst thing I've ever seen him do, just because I hated seeing him doing the whole I'm having this match for you guys bit. For all people who've been bullied and pushed around. Anybody here think that Braun Strowman was ever bullied? Seriously? I mean, that guy, and I've met Braun Strowman personally at the airport. I've seen how big he is, and I had no doubt that if anything, he was probably more the bully than the one who was. That being said, even if he was, I believe that just because of the angle they're playing about being bullied and being called stupid and yada yada, that he's a slam dunk to win this match. That said, I would love it be that he lost a match because he threw Shane off the cage or something like that, you know, Mick Foley style. But I think this is a send for Braun.
And this is like the Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss thing where Nia Jax is like, well, I've always been bullied my life. And I'm like, really? Like, you're of the Samoan heritage. Like, come on. But, yeah, I do think you guys, like, the whole aspect of Braun throwing him out somehow and then Shane wins, I think that probably is how they're actually going to go. And Elias and Riker will probably get involved, which, man, you talk about Elias never, you know, I don't want to start on the reign of Elias because he's got all the tools, but just something never clicks for him. But, yeah, so anyways. All right, next up, let's go the women's side of things, tag team titles. We got tag team turmoil. We just added Billie Kay and Carmella, the not Iconics. But why in the hell did we break up the Iconics if we're going to put Billie Kay in a tag team? Anyone, but anyway, so Naomi and Lana, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, the Riot Squad, Natalya Tamina, and Carmella and Billie Kay, the new Iconics. So I'll go first. I'm pulling in my heart of hearts for the Riot Squad. So I'm going to say Riot Squad. I think, and then I think tomorrow night, not to spoil it, but that could be something for tomorrow night too. But I think Riot Squad, they've earned this. It does make me surprised that Natalya and Tamina got so much momentum last night. And, I usually go the opposite momentum because if you're showing all the upside, then usually you lose. So I thought Natalia and Tamina were on their way up, but then they just took out everybody last night. So that makes me kind of eliminate them. But I think the Riot Squad are going to sneak in there and get some sort of win. Greg, who do you got in this women's tag team turmoil match?
Or also known as this moment to take a bathroom break.
There you go.
This match, it's very hastily and shabbily done. Just to be contrarian, I'm going to back Dana and Mandy Rose. They haven't done anything since they arrived except run in and get down. So maybe there's that underdog thing playing too. But make no mistake, whoever wins this match, we're all losers.
But I will give these women credit. I feel like they all have meshed. Like your pick of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, I feel like they are meshing as a tag team, and I'll give because just think we had the SmackDown tag team titles on the line last night, so at least we're giving the women some chance to show what they could do. Maybe I'm just being too optimistic about that, but like you said, it does feel hastily thrown together, especially since we just literally added Carmella and Billie Kay for some odd reason. So Jay,
right,
you're going to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
No, honestly, they've had this past year to throw down to put together a viable women's tag team scene. How long have Nana or Shayna and Nia been doing their bit? There's plenty of time to do this thing with other teams and make them a legit team. So it gives us something to look forward to. But half of this match was thrown together at last second. They had a year to put together women that work well together and give us something that we want to see. They haven't done that.
Exactly. Jay, you're going to Natalia and Tamina, right? Your favorite two women of WWE ever?
No. Natalia, you know about me, Natalia. It's a coin toss for me between Naomi and Lana, and then the new added additional Carmella and BK. So I'm gonna go. Oh, this is so. It's a coin. I don't really care. I'm gonna go.
Do you want me to run and get you a coin?
Yeah, it's a coin toss. Naomi and Lana. Let's do Billie Kay and Carmella. I'm gonna do that. The new Wyatt Squad.
The new Iconics. What if I would love it if Billie Kay actually cost and helped the Riot Squad win, honestly. I think that would just keep full circle back to where that went. So let's go to another tag team championship match. The New Day, my favorite guys, versus AJ Styles and Omos. His first match ever. This is another guy I really want to see what he's going to do because Triple H talked him up apparently the other day on a conference call. He was the big gigantic ninja. He was the bouncer. So at least AJ Styles. Then AJ Styles is another guy that I think is just there for the next year or two to do whatever they give him and just help build up the next generation. And so hopefully next year AJ Styles gets a good send-off. Him and Triple H, I think, would be awesome to do. And that's really where I think they should go. But the New Day versus AJ and Omos, I'm going to say AJ Styles gets his full plethora of title reigns and now gets the tag team titles. So I'm going to say AJ Styles and Omos pick up the win. Jay, let's jump back to you. Are you going to go against the New Day and pick AJ?
Absolutely not. AJ and Omos, definitely going with that. This is his first match. I think this is a good way to start off AJ's or get tag team and getting Omos in action week after week. We see how long they can hold the titles. We can see, they can kind of play with this. They can see if it's going to work. Eventually, he'll probably feud with AJ. I'm saying, down the line. So do you think we get Omos and AJ Styles? SummerSlam? Would it last that long?
I think they just win tonight and maybe a month or two, honestly. But
Yeah.
I don't know what I brought up a bunch of times. I don't know whether the tag teams other than New Day are there right now.
Yeah.
Like SmackDown, I'll give SmackDown a little bit of credit. We know what tag team scene looks like a little bit. Now, is it the best? No. But the Raw tag team scene, I mean, the fact that we have to put AJ Styles in this match says a lot about the Raw tag team scene. And I hate it because we all are probably tag team fans. And we know there's plenty of guys there that could be a good tag team to throw out there. So, Greg, are you going to go along with us and say AJ Styles and almost pick up the Raw tag team titles here?
Yes, I am. I like probably most of us are looking forward to seeing what Almost going to do in the ring. I think it's going to be a basic. AJ is going to do 90% of the match and hot tag Almost. He's going to put a New Day on like ragdolls, and he's going to have hopefully has some dominant finisher that puts it up halfway through the ring, and that's going to be new champions. So he's going to leave us something. That's going to be the last thing we remember seeing is him getting that dominant 5 minutes action, smoking somebody in the middle of the ring, and then them hold up the title. So it's going to be a great showcase for Almost, and we love to hate AJ, so it's a perfect time for this.
And like I said, with AJ Styles, I hate it that he's in a tag team right now, but I get it because, like I said, I think he is there for the next couple of years, probably the next year or so, to really just see what he can do and help other next generation superstars. So I believe, according to my Google slide here, we're at the main event, which is the first time ever 2 women of color are going to main event WrestleMania, which is pretty huge. And I'm surprised WWE is not playing up that aspect yet, but which is actually good, probably in a way that they're not, they're just talking up as the women are going to main event. And I like that in a way they announced it, because I think a lot of us were going back and forth on, Drew McIntyre keep saying the word. He kept using the words main event, but then so did Sasha and Bianca. So, it's people keep going back to the Royal Rumble winner should main event. So that's why Bianca Belair is main eventing. And Sasha has done great for what she is, but it's Bianca's time to shine. And what better moment to close out WrestleMania with Bianca Belair holding up that title and just, showing off just like the Royal Rumble win. This is going to be Bianca's coming out party if she hasn't already came out. But this is her crowning achievement, and I think she's going to roll from there. So, Greg, are you going against Bianca Belair in the main event of WrestleMania?
Well, this is, first of all, one of the reasons I see Lashley changing at the beginning of the night. Because if you're going to have a title change happen, you better do it at the beginning of the show. And so you had the feel-good moment at the end. I'm a huge fan of this match. I'm a huge fan of Bianca Belair. And I have all the faith in the world that these 2 ladies are going to bring it, and they're going to bring it on the main event level. And this gets set the new standard for a title match at WrestleMania, a women's title match at WrestleMania, maybe any title match at WrestleMania. So I'm all in on it. That's the match I'm looking forward to most tonight. And I definitely have Bianca signaling the beginning of a new era for the women's championship, as far as having a woman who's, has that backstory, working her way up, all-star athlete. If you can, put in mind to it, you can do that kind of thing. Whereas Sasha's not as believable is the wrong word in that aspect, but you see where I'm getting to. But she's the more of the role model, the more the hard work pays off example of the night, and we can get behind her. So I'm totally in for that.
All right, and Jay, who are you going with in this battle of women for the main event of WrestleMania Night 1?
This better main event, right? I hope this main event. I'm going with Bianca Belair because when she won the Rumble, I said she's winning the title. I don't care who she was going against. It was a SmackDown or Raw SmackDown or Raw Women's Champion. I wanted her to go against Sasha Banks. She's fighting Sasha Banks. Her and Sasha are friends in the back. She wants to put her over. This is EST of WrestleMania we're talking about. This is her time. Bianca's come a long way, Stephen A. And I think these ladies are going to work hard. They're going to want to showcase this off, especially if they get that opportunity in main event night 1. This is going to be Bianca Belair, though. Sasha Banks has her loss record at WrestleMania is terrible. So I feel like if she loses again, I mean, who cares? Sasha's not won. I don't know. What is her record? I know she's lost a lot.
At least she finally defended the title. That was her big, big red mark was she'd win a title, never retain it. So at least she's done that. But I don't know her official record at Mania, but I do know that she's, like you said, I think Sasha is ready to put over some women. I think she's going to pull the Bayley card this year and really try to put over the women.
She will. It's going to be a good
I don't know where
this is one of the, I mean, as far as this is one of the matches I'm excited for night 1. The most for night 1.
And this is the main event. They announced it already. They put on WWE. So this will close the night, and they did announce Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre opening
night 1. I know. Yeah. Okay. So I'm all in. EST, baby.
So
I'm going to get
some. All right, we're good. You got to get some EST gear.
I have to.
I think she looks better on the main roster than she did in NXT too, which is something to say because usually we go the opposite. But we're going to take a small, quick commercial break. We'll give you some realty talk. Then we'll get ready for night 2. So catch your breath. Get with Sean Nugent to get your realty stuff taken care of, and we'll be right back.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Dan over at BWSports1.com and Black and White Sports. And I'm wondering if you're ready to buy or sell that home, now's the time, and I got just the person for you. Mr. Sean Nugent, a.k.a. Rockstar Realtor himself, 317-503-8322. Put that home on the market. Get into your dream home with this man. Talk to Sean at Talk to Tucker today, 317-503-8322. And make sure you tell him the boys over at BWSports1.com sent you.
All righty, and we are back ready to rock and roll on night 2 for WrestleMania. We'll kind of maybe at the end of this see which night do we think will do better, and we could give some match of the night and MVP type talk, all that stuff. But let's give you the predictions right away, kind of looking at. I want to start with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with Logan Paul, because this is what I've gone back and forth a lot. I think Logan Paul accidentally helped Sami Zayn win. And then Kevin Owens just gives him the stunner anyway to Logan Paul. So Kevin Owens will still get the feel-good moment, but Sami Zayn will pick up the win, even though it won't matter for anything because these two guys are in that middle tier where I don't know which direction they're going to go. It's like they could fall down the card or they could go up the card at any point. So I'm going to say Sami Zayn wins with the accidental help of Logan Paul. Greg, what is your prediction on this match right here?
This match, I mean, I am in for the fact that Kevin and Sammy have a great history of great matches together. And so I'm hoping for a match that's along those lines, really vicious and, savage kind of match. I don't dig the whole Logan Paul angle of this. I mean, one celebrity is enough. And, Bad Bunny's got that already. So I don't know why they called the guy for his last round. I don't care how many YouTube followers he has or know what he does. So it seems like it's lancing in Sammy's favor. But based on the last Raw, I think there's going to be a moment where Logan Paul flips sides and goes from supporting Sammy to support Kevin. And in maybe confronting Logan, Owens is able to capitalize and get the stunner and get a win. So that's what I think is that Logan's going to indirectly cause Sammy to lose instead of the other way around.
All right, there you go. So we got 1-1. Jay, you are the tiebreaker here. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Kevin Owens.
All right, there you go.
Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn. This, them two. Gotta go. But I'm gonna
Fight
go
forever.
they've been fighting forever. They love it, and I'm gonna love to see it. This is WrestleMania for night 2, but I'm going to enjoy Kevin Owens. I've always been more of a Kevin Owens fan. I'm going to kind of give Kevin Owens. It's such a flip, another coin toss here, but I'm gonna give it to Kevin Owens just because I like him a little bit more, and I think that's going to be the end result for this. So I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens for.
There you go. And hopefully he can jump off the pirate ship at some point and, land a nice frog splash. Because it does sound like they got I've been very good about trying to, if people are like, here's the set design, I'm like scrolling really quick on Twitter because I do not want to see it until tonight. I'm that weird person that doesn't like to be that spoiled by that type of stuff, but I'll read every other spoiler under the sun. But this set design, I think I've seen little clips, but I'm like, okay, I just want to see all of it together. But yeah, I think I wonder if this might open night 2, just kind of get that out of the way. But it will be interesting to see, looking at night 2, what exactly could open tonight. Next up, we have the Nigerian drum fight. I will not speak with a Nigerian accent like Apollo Crews because I don't want to disrespect that. But we have Big E, who is my guy. I love Big E. I'm so ready for him to be in that main event status. He's the IC champion. I think he's done awesome. He won it on Christmas night. But I will call Apollo Crews to win the IC title. Now, it does give me pause because he picked the match. But I still think Big E can lose and still move up the card, even with the loss. So, Jay, who do you got? My guy Big E or Apollo Crews?
Hell no, I'm going with Apollo Crews because he's more of a heel. I like my heels, Stephen A.
I do. I know you love your heels. That's true.
I know how to been working with him for the past few weeks and making him look with the way he wants to. I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews. Big E, I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I think they're still trying to figure it out, and I think they will in the next couple months. But right now, I don't think Big E is getting that moment. He's not getting it. It's gonna be Apollo Crews, and I think Apollo Crews has come a long way. Stephen A, you remember when I was couple, maybe 2 years ago, Apollo Crews was just, they didn't know what to do with him. He was coming out with SmackDown Raw. He was getting traded when they had the brand and all that kind of. And I finally think he's finding his way more than Big E. So I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews.
And when Apollo Crews, he won the U.S. title at some point last year. Yeah. That's when I felt like I don't know if he was as confident in himself, honestly. I think that was a little bit of it too. Now, I still think he got called up a little too early, but, it takes guys some time to find what their character is, or because that was the thing. He was just a smiley guy, and he had nothing. So at least this, I think it is weird. It's almost like Kofi Kingston in reverse, where Kofi had the Jamaican accent, then he just lost it, or Lana, when she had the Russian accent, then all of a sudden she doesn't speak Russian. But now they're like, oh, no, Apollo, we want you to try this accent. So it's just interesting to see how they went that route. Greg, who do you got in this match? So far, we are 2 on the side of Apollo Crews. Are you joining us, or are you going to stick with Big E?
Hey, I love me some Big E, but I am down with the new Apollo Crews, man. Call it 3-0. I'm getting a character change. The Nigerian accent. Okay, but at least he has the backstory. I mean, he is Nigerian born and is leaning into it. I like the little backstory he's come up with for himself. To show him the steel thing. It's made him relevant. Like I was saying, he was happy as mighty Apollo and has my Apollo got nowhere. This is a chance to make him truly relevant and make him one of the lead heels. And this guy dipped the whole show. And plus, I don't know what they call that shade of green that he's rocking, but I am loving it. I love that. But as much as I'm a Big E New Day fan, I think this is the moment to boost Apollo's profile and put a belt on him. He can still fall upwards, and I think by this time next year, be in a legitimate spot to challenge Roman Reigns.
And that's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to use Big E with the IC. We used to just have the old school thinking. You win the IC title, you lose it, you're going to move up. And I think Big E is that guy that they're really going to try the old school approach with. I know a lot of people said he should have won the Rumble this year. he wasn't ready for that. I don't think. That's why I think you give him a year to develop, even more. And then I think next year he is one of the heavy favorites. Honestly, Big E should be one of the heavy favorites. So next up I keep calling him Matt Riddle. I don't care that they dropped Matt, but United States champion Riddle. Hopefully he will not forget his lines tonight against Sheamus. Talk about thrown together out of nowhere. I'm going to say Riddle picks up the win. I think Riddle needs it. I guess Vince McMahon must be literally high on him. Yes, pun intended there. My only thing is I want to see Matt Riddle and RVD do some segment together. I don't know if it happens tonight or Raw or whatever, but come on, it's tailor made right there for them to do some sort of segment and let it roll. But no, there's another nice pun intended. But Riddle picks up the win. Sheamus is in veteran status too. He can lose some, he can win some. You could probably put him in a title match, and it's kind of believable. So I'm going to Riddle to retain the title there. Greg, what say you?
I'm in agreement with you guys. I'm not digging what they've done with Riddle so far. NXT Riddle was great because it could be goofy and clowny, but when it was time to throw down, he threw down, and you can see that mean side come out of him. Since he's been moved up to the main roster, they've taken his calls away, and he's still doing the goofy, clowny stuff, but his in-ring action has been lacking, to say the least. So I hope that they take this moment to reset that and bring some of that NXT Riddle back and show he can be vicious, so he can come through and have another 4-star match. I'm not saying all his NXT matches 4 stars, but they were a hell of a lot better than they are on the main roster, and I want to see more of that. You got eyes back on him now. You got a live crowd on him now, and I think they're going to all help propel him to getting back to being a legitimate character instead of the clown that he is now, which I'm totally not into it. So, but I'm still rooting for him that they can course correct, and a win over Sheamus will be a step in the right direction. A good, legitimate, convincing win will be a good step.
It's interesting you bring up the live crowd. Do you think that the crowd is going to react favorably to Riddle, or do you think it's not going to be favorable? Because I'm kind of scared about what kind of reaction he'll get, because based off your, what you've been saying, I think a lot of people have turned on him in a way. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think the crowd will maybe start unfavorably and change, or how do you think the crowd is going to react to Riddle right now?
I think we still remember Riddle from, the NXT, the bro chants, the dance, and, who doesn't love a good flip-flop kick? He's still going to be over with the fans. They'll get it going. You'll probably hear bro half the night, and he should play into that. He should play into it, and they'll pop for him. I don't have any problem with believing that he'll be over as soon as he walks down the ramp.
And that, I guess you brought up another good point, the bro thing. I think that I did completely forget about that, honestly. I think he's somebody that's kind of suffered from the lack of fans, because he is good at engaging with the fans. He feeds off that energy. So I guess right. I'm gonna turn my thoughts and actually agree with you in that I think they will get behind him. And and really, this could be a good opening match too, to try to give that whole, pop to the crowd and all that. Jay, what do you think? Matt Riddle wins or Sheamus wins here?
Matt Riddle. He's gonna United States Championship match. I hope it. You think it's gonna open up night 2? Is that what you said, Stephen A?
I think this, or maybe this Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn could open up, but I think this might be a better one to open with, because you can get the crowd chanting bro. You could give a good win to somebody, and because I'm completely confused on which direction I think the last match is going to go. So I don't know how the night will end, but I think if you want to get the night started off right with Riddle, with the bro chant, with just, feel good kind of WrestleMania opening match, because we've seen Riddle and Sheamus tear down the house. What was a couple weeks ago, and now that maybe they'll have a few more minutes to spare and no commercial break, so to just go balls to the wall type deal and just kind of have at it. Yeah, I think this could open up night 2. But who you going with, Jay? Oh wait, you said Riddle. So any other thoughts on?
I mean, give him credit. He's been working for the past year. Sheamus has been working really hard, doing his thing. But I'm gonna say Matt Riddle only because I don't see Sheamus getting. Sheamus is just he's always there. He's always around. And, Sheamus doesn't need this win. I like giving people wins at WrestleMania who kind of should need it. The fans, like Greg said as well, the fans is going to be there for Matt Riddle. I think the crowd's going to be excited. And if it opens up that night, not for night 2, it's definitely going there.
All right. Let's go to the Fiend, the new and reincarnated Fiend, against Randy Orton. Now, technically, there's no gimmick attached to this match, but do we really believe that nothing is going to happen in this match that is out of the ordinary, whether it involves Alexa Bliss or the Fiend?
Right.
No. So it's weird that they haven't. Now, I guess I do think both guys want to make up for the last WrestleMania match they had. They had the maggots crawling on the ring and all that. So I hope that they are in a better spot now to do that. I'm going to say the Fiend wins, and I think Orton could ride off for a little bit of time, give him a break. Because I think Orton's been one of the MVPs, honestly, of this pandemic era as well. I mean, Orton has brought it, and Randy Orton's one of those guys, me and Jay have talked about it past. When Orton is on, he's one of the best. I mean, honestly, his mic work has gotten so much better. His ring work, he can work with anybody. And it's just the package of Orton. And I do think Orton's one of those guys, when he does retire, people will be like, oh, God, we kind of neglected Orton in a way. But, I think people, I think for his final run, people really get behind him. So, Greg, is there any chance Randy Orton wins this match?
No. And we need this angle to end. This is a good way to do it. Let's just alluding to it that this is where Legend dies, and they don't set him on fire, I'm sure, or anything, but there's going to be your focus folks to it, and Randy's going to take the L in some gruesome fashion, and that's going to be a good point to end the storyline with Randy and Bliss and Fiend. It was fun at the beginning, and now it's just become, overkill. The way you move Fiend to something bigger and better. My prediction is, Finn Balor just lost Fiend versus the Demon. Just saying. And then, like you were saying, this is a good point for Randy to take some months off for a reward for his good work. I agree with you. He's one of the MVPs of last year. He does the promo. You stop what you're doing and you listen, because it's that believable. And give him a chance to recharge, reset, come back. Something new, a new opponent, and we can palate cleanse from the whole he's dead and he's back angle. So I love Randy, but I want Fiend to win just so we can end the story.
All right, and Jay, you're gonna pick Randy Orton, correct?
Incorrect. I've been a fan of I've been a fan of Husky Harris. I've been a fan of Bray Wyatt. I've been a fan of the Fiend and the New Age. Listen, it's all of it for me. I'm going to be picking my predictions are fan for me. Who of course, no one's going to Randy. Randy Orton's work hard. He's a workhorse. Like you guys said, if he gets time off after this, great for him. But yeah, I'm giving it to the Fiend. He's been away for a while. When did he came back? What was that? Stephen A.
Just about a month ago.
Just 4 weeks. All right, yeah. So yeah, it's going to him, and it's going to be hopefully it's a good match. Like you said, Stephen A. They want to do better than what they did last year. We've been seeing these guys, so they should have enough chemistry to get. Of course, we all know that. And Randy Orton can work with anybody. But yeah, I think he's going to also put over like he's put over Seth, and Randy Orton's put over multiple guys in Mania. It's going to be the thing.
Exactly. And we're finally to our next two title matches. So we'll start with Raw Women's Champion Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea just showed up and she's getting her first match in a title match. I'm not going to pick against. It's so hard to pick against Asuka, but I think this WrestleMania is so important because it's been brought up. There's no Brock, no John Cena, no Undertaker, no Triple H. Like the first time since I think they said WrestleMania 6 that one of those 4 guys has not been involved in WrestleMania. So this is all about putting up the next generation, the next set of talent. So this is all Rhea Ripley's moment. I know Bianca Belair is going to get hers the night before, but I think Rhea Ripley needs to get this moment as well. And I want Rhea Ripley, and I will predict Rhea Ripley to take the title off Asuka, and Asuka will do what she's going to ever do next. But Rhea Ripley is my official prediction. Greg, who do you got? Asuka or Rhea Ripley?
Well, I consider Asuka my HAG, my Asian girlfriend, and I hate what they have done with her the last year. They've totally taken away her mystique, her aura, that beautiful dominance that she showed in NXT, and for that first year after she came up to the main roster where she just obliterated everybody. I know it's not going to continue forever, but it's like a comedian that tells the same jokes after you hear it for the 10th time. It stops being funny, and that's kind of what happened with her getting on commentary and yelling in Japanese. It was awesome for the first month or two, and then it got old, and then they added the dancing, and she's become kind of caricature for herself. And being as huge as Asuka fan as I am, as much as I love her, I've hated seeing them do that to her. So here's what I think, and what I hope happens. Because we really had no surprises on this whole card, both nights. I want to see a double flip as far as Asuka goes heel, which makes going to make Ripley the face, because Ripley right now looks like she's taking more of a heelish side to things. And Asuka goes back, girl, gets some of her tiger back, and does some way of cheat the win to keep her title. And then, Monday night, you get back girl Asuka, no more dancing, no more singing, no more, come back ass kicking, and maybe Rhea gets it at SummerSlam. But I think this would be a great moment to recreate Asuka, because where is she going to go if she loses? There's nobody really for her to work with. I see, Peyton Royce, no. She needs to stay champ because she is the best wrestler on the roster, the best female on the roster. And I'll go against anybody in saying that. Pound for pound, she is the best female wrestler on the roster, and she needs to keep that title. They need to have a great match, which I totally expect they will. And this would be a great moment for her to be heel and win by some heelish way. That'll raise her profile and make her more of a beast as she goes and plots through people to get back to Asuka at SummerSlam. So that's my surprise of the whole card.
There you go. I mean, she could Asuka lose the title and still turn heel on Rhea afterwards? Do you think that's something or not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good jumping off point to have them have a good series of matches where Asuka finds ways to, curry a win in her favor by nefarious means and build up anticipation for her winning. And the next big event is going to be SummerSlam. So Rhea lost her moment at WrestleMania last year, but if she takes a tainted L this year, it may even be better for her. So I can totally see Rhea winning, but I gotta take my girlfriend. Asuka wins.
And I guess that's why I think back to last year. I think Rhea has earned that moment, which they kind of took away from her last year, and it broke her. Like she said, she lost her confidence after that. Jay, who are you going to go with, Asuka or Rhea Ripley?
Oh, I'm trying to get my camera together. It's frozen.
Oh, you're good.
It was frozen. I'm
okay.
this is tough. Didn't Asuka. I like Greg's theory. Do we get both women championships? I mean, because we already think Bianca Belair is going to win, right? So does someone in the women's division retain her title? It's a chance.
Good point.
Okay, so now, they had a tag team match just this past Monday night. I think Asuka got attacked by Rhea Ripley, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she stood okay. Yeah, you know how I do about that, Stephen A. Whoever last laugh on the Raw is not going to be laughing at the pay-per-view Sunday night. This is Sunday. I'm going to say, I'm going to go with Asuka. I think somebody retains in the women's, and I think it's going to be Asuka. I don't have the same theory as Greg as far as the flipping, which is a good idea, which could happen. I think she needs this win, but she was putting here. I think Asuka needed an opponent. If Bianca wasn't going after her, who else was Asuka going to go against? So they put her
Charlotte.
Or Charlotte was there. Charlotte was there, but she's always there. If Charlotte was here, you know who I pick. Yeah. Is there a chance we get Becky and Charlotte returning? Maybe that turmoil tag team match? That's rumored.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I've heard a fun rumor where maybe Billie Kay gets attacked by Bayley, though, and Bayley teams with Carmella. And I actually kind of love that idea because I do love Baymella. But, yeah. And then, of course, Becky Lynch did tease the masses with her acronyms of night one. She put like nothing, blah, blah, like, so N meant something, I, and all that. So, of course, the wrestling Twitterverse is going crazy with that. But I don't think I think we see Becky sooner rather than later, but I don't think we see Becky this weekend.
What's the night after WrestleMania is where all the returns happen, usually.
Usually. I mean, I think even if you had Becky in a just showing up Monday night, I think that would be something.
Yeah.
But
Asuka for me, retaining. I just want somebody to retain. I think it's going to be Asuka. Rya's, it's going to be a great match, but I don't think she needs it right now. She can get anytime she wants. She's not that woman that needs to win it now. She's going to be okay. She's going to be fine. I think Asuka for now.
And I completely forgot that this is off the WWE site, my screenshot. Okay. They did not list the Women's Tag Team Championship match. So are we going Nia Jax and Shayna to win? Or are we going with the team that wins the previous night to win? Greg?
Oh, boy. Better match I could do it out. But, Nia and... I really hate Shania Shayna's tag team because I was a big Shayna fan and I thought her style would be a great addition because it's so different and so old school compared to all the flippy stuff that women do right now. And they totally define her down way, way too much. So for that reason only, I want them to lose and then have and just break up the tag team because for as decent as they've been, that's all I can tell them is they've been decent champions. I'm done seeing them with the belts. I think they need to give them to somebody who would do it more justice.
And I don't want a feud between Nia and Shayna. I want Shayna just to walk out on her. Like if they lose it, then the next night maybe she just walks out. And then you almost reset Shayna Baszler because I think I thought last year was going to be her coming out party, winning the title off Becky, and she didn't. Last year's WrestleMania was kind of weird with only, Drew McIntyre really coming out as that next guy. But I'm going to say the field, so whoever wins tonight will get the titles tomorrow night. Jay, are you going to go with the field or are you going to go with your girls, Nia and Shayna? And Reggie.
No, I the field. Okay, so I got Carmella and Billie Kay. Yeah, so whoever wins that match is gonna go on and take the women's tag team champions away from Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler. And I also think Nia would take the pin as well.
Okay, there you go.
They should have never brought up the Iconics.
That's what we're saying. I don't. Well, then they had Peyton Royce teaming with Lacey. And then Lacey has to go get pregnant, which, yes, congrats to her. But, man, talk about rough timing for her. And then Charlotte is out with COVID and possibly thinking she's pregnant. So that, it's kind of random times, if there was a time for Becky Lynch to come back, now's probably the time, honestly. So, yeah. But anyways, real quick, does Bayley do anything at night 1 or night 2? Because I love Bayley, and she's been a real MVP for the pandemic. So I don't know why she doesn't have something. Give her ding dong hello show or something. Jay, does Bayley do anything at WrestleMania this weekend?
I don't care. No, you're a fan of Bayley. I'm not. I can care less about Bayley. I want to see Charlotte do something by the end of the night 1, night 2. She deserves it more than anyone.
I almost was going to call for Charlotte to get shoehorned into the Asuka Rhea Ripley match, but
that'd be great.
I just feel like it's way too. I don't know. They could pull it off because Rhea Ripley has history with Charlotte, and obviously Asuka does. So I feel like you could pull it off somehow, but it feel like too forced. So Greg, does Bayley get a moment at WrestleMania, whether it's something? I don't know what it is.
I can see it, but the definitive answer, no. I don't think she does. I don't know why. Maybe she has some issues going on off screen, but I agree with you. She's been one of the MVPs of like this last year, so she deserves a spot somewhere in the program. But I think if she's not included, it's not by accident.
Okay, there you go. And we are at the main event. This match, I've gone every which way because last night's promos from each guy made me think they could each win it. And now I do think Daniel Bryan's going to eat the pin on whoever, but I'm going to say Edge picks up the win. I think it just makes sense. Even with Edge in this heelish character, he can pin Daniel Bryan and still leave Roman out there. But I think Edge picks up the win. And I feel like we'll still see these. I think we'll see these three guys kind of feuding for the title, maybe through the summer. Whether it's one-on-one, maybe it's another triple threat. Maybe there's other guys inserted. But I feel like Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman Reigns are all going to be at the top of the card for the next few months till we decide what they might do with Money in the Bank, probably. But I think Edge is going to pull off the win here. I think it just makes sense. It's going to be interesting because I think the crowd is going to get behind him, even though they don't probably want him. They probably don't want the crowd behind him. But I mean, it's Edge. It does. The heel turn to me doesn't make any sense right now because why would you not want him to show this, this grit and determination coming back? But I think Edge is going to win. And honestly, like I said, I think the crowd's just going to be behind him. And they might just have to turn him somehow. Maybe he just completely goes ape shit on Daniel Bryan after the match. But I'll be curious to see how the crowd is in this match. Greg, who do you got winning this triple threat match?
Well, I agree with you on the fact that Roman is going to lose, but he's not going to be involved in the pin. That way, he saves face and he gets the winner. The other part of it being is who gets the pin. I've been flipping going back and forth for a little bit. But I think the Daniel Bryan is going to be the one to get the pin. Edge has been great. I've been enjoying watching what he's been doing since he's come back. And the whole three-way with these three has been great. These guys playing off each other. And I like seeing Edge going back to the rated R superstar, but they going from, heel champion, what sense does it make to put another heel champion in his place? Roman's already the best heel champion in the company. So I think it makes more sense to have, Bryan win and then have fend off Reigns and Edge in what's going to be 5-star matches. Because anything Daniel Bryan gets involved in at a main event level is money. So, like I said, that can fuel another month, 2 months, 3 months worth of action at the top of the card. So I got Daniel Bryan.
Awesome. All right. So I have Edge. You have Daniel Bryan. Jay, you got Roman Reigns. Your boy.
Yeah, opposite. Oh, I don't like Roman Reigns. No, he's no. Okay, so I think Bryan. I'm not going Bryan for sure. I think he's in this match to make it better. Just to add a minute, it was a great idea to make it a triple threat instead of Edge 1-on-1 with Roman Reigns. It could have been tougher for Edge to predict, right, Stephen A? I think if it was 1-on-1, Roman versus Edge, I don't know. I mean, you probably still go with Edge, but it'll be tough because that's tough for Edge. He's been, involved in this feud since the Rumble, putting a lot of time in his contract, but it only makes sense. Bianca Belair lasted 57 minutes in the Rumble, and I think it was like 60 and some 12 seconds, maybe, to be exact. I'm giving it to Edge. Why work so hard, right? Do all this just to not give it to him? I'm sick of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. And Roman Reigns needs a break. I need a break from Roman Reigns. We all might need a break from Roman Reigns. I'm going with the Radar Superstar Edge for all the same reasons. Stephen A. I like Edge. I love Edge. He's back. Never thought that would happen. He did great in the Rumble. He's been great and active in this feud, making it something to be a main event match at WrestleMania for night 2. I'm definitely going to Edge. The crowd will pop. Okay, we're all about pops. At the end of the night, will Batista get this pop? Will Roman get this pop if he win here? It's always been that for WrestleMania for the main event. But I think Edge winning this, everybody will go crazy. I mean, the blogs, you want to talk about all that, and they do all the ESPN stuff. I mean, Edge winning this, and when the last time Edge won a WWE championship, Stephen A? I'm sure you know.
Well, he retired 10 years to this date, is what I heard, or tomorrow's date. So it'll be 10 years to the date that he would have won the World Heavyweight title.
Oh, yeah. I think this is going to be a decade. This is a story waiting to be written by bloggers. Waiting to be written and shown in ESPN on Raw and SmackDown. This is a story that we all want. How can Edge do all this and not win? Stephen A is Edge.
Yeah, and I mean, and I feel like any route you go, it's going to lead to what could happen. They're still going to have something to build off of.
And I'm not, very quick, Stephen, I'm not saying Edge will the title for a very long time. He's just going to win it. The decade thing's going to be broken. He came back. It's going to be history for him. And I mean, I've been
Well, that's the thing too. I think Edge will be a transitional type champion. I mean, he could lose it this Friday night to Roman Reigns, and they just go again with Roman. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I do think Edge won't be a long-term champion because I think this is Edge. Edge is in that same. Like, we want to see some of those dream matches, I guess it is. I want to see Edge and Daniel Bryan one-on-one down the road. I'm trying to think of who else. Of course, I can't think of all. Edge and Kevin Owens. Like, I want to see that. Edge and, Sami Zayn, obviously, too. So I think this could be cool for Edge to do those, just dream type, retirement party type matches. Triple H actually brought this up on a podcast where he wants to do, his retirement plans would be doing a tour of Japan, doing a tour, hit Chicago, hit New York. Obviously, they can't hit those cities right now, but I think that's the way. If Edge could do something like that, that's the way to go out. You don't have to necessarily have your lasting moment at WrestleMania. You could go out like a sports star. You get your retirement party tour. Yes. So I think this is Edge's time. Through next year to just go to Vince and be like, hey, I want this guy in a feud. I want this guy in a feud or whatever. And it could be some of those younger guys, not younger necessarily, but, that next generation. That's all I got for WrestleMania. Greg, what do you think? Night 1 or night 2? Which one do you think is going to do better?
I got night 2. I think the star power is better. The match is going to be better. And maybe not by a huge margin, but just off of depth and the quality of the matches, the storylines, I'd got night 2.
All right. And Jay, which night do you got?
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go night 1. And I know, listen, night 2 is supposed to be it's like our main event one, right? They put all the important ones. Night 2 is night 1 is whatever, but night 2 is the main event. So even though we have a different main event for 1, if you know what I mean. I'm excited for Bianca. I want that. There's some other matches that could be better than but you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Night 2 is tough to beat, but I'm gonna go night 1.
And see, I'm kind of going night one as well because I think it's that first night back with the fans. I think people are going to have some high hopes for it.
Sure.
Now, hopefully, it lives up to that. And just there's a little more, quality of the matches, I think, on night one. But like, I mean, Edge, Roman, and Daniel Bryan, I mean, hell, I could watch that probably for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
We could do some sort of Iron Man, and then Asuka and Rhea Ripley, I think, is important. So there is night two has some importance, I think, to see which direction we're going to go with, guys.
Yeah.
But that's a show for us. I think, I appreciate Greg. Would you love to come back? Or I would love to have you back on again. Are you up for that coming down the road?
Oh, you know what, brother? I would love to be a recurring guest. You just let me know, and I will be there.
Awesome. And Jay, how about that? You want to come back in 5 years and talk to me again?
5 years. Stephen A., I'm always here when you need me.
Awesome.
That I haven't, I've been on the mic a little bit actually in the past couple months, but it was good to be back, and I wanted to come back and mention the great Khali's in the Hall of Fame again. So, and I had to.
Who?
The great Khali is in the Hall
Who?
of Fame. Stephen A. said he's never do it. I said it's going to be in the Hall of Fame. What's the class? The class of Hall. Would you have a list, Stephen A.?
Oh, this year's?
Who's being inducted? Yeah.
So we had the NWO,
Right.
And Eric Bischoff. We had Batista. Oh, that was what I wanted to bring up as well. I hope Batista gets like SummerSlam to do a little induction speech or maybe a Raw because he did not get to be part of the Hall of Fame on Tuesday night because he's filming a movie, and I think he's helping produce it, so he couldn't take off any time to do anything for that. Rob Van Dam is in there. Kane is in there. I was really surprised with the NWO because they put 6. I never think of Sean Waltman as a key factor of NWO, but whatever. Who else? Ozzy Osbourne. We have who else am I forgetting? Titus O'Neil is the Legacy or the Ultimate Warrior winner. We had Richard Herron, who's a Warrior winner. I know I'm probably the Bella Twins. I can't forget the Bella Twins. So yeah, I'm sure I'm missing somebody else, but I thought it was a pretty strong class, honestly.
Really strong.
I think that, I go back and forth on the Bella Twins because Nikki is so much better and higher up than Brie.
Yeah.
But I felt like if you just put Nikki by herself,
no.
That's kind of dismissing Brie. So it's like you had to put them together in a way, because that's all it's been is them together. So I get it. And, like I said, the NWO, we didn't get the 50 members of the NWO. We just got Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, it's Scott Hall, and Sean Waltman. And, of course, Eric Bischoff. I mean, Eric Bischoff really helped propel the NWO to that next level, I think. Yes, Hulk Hogan helped, but when Bischoff got part of that, that's when it really took off. So, Rob Van Dam, like I said, I'm surprised. I won't be surprised if we see him on the Raw probably in the next week or so. Just kind of, out there doing some match with Riddle or doing something. And I do think we're going to see the Bella Twins sooner rather than later as well. I think they both want to go out with a bang. So, so good class. I think Kane, obviously is important. Kane had a really good speech, at his induction. So, luckily this year, they kept it to about 3 to 5 minutes because that one year, I think it was my first year in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think it was like over 11:30 because like the Warrior speech was really long. Everybody's speech is just, I didn't feel the genuine aspect of it because they were so short.
I know.
But I'm kind of happy that we got it shorter. So, anyways, Greg, any thoughts real quick on the Hall of Fame in your mind?
I'm not a fan of Hall of Fame. The Bellas at least kept it kayfabe instead of showing off their plaques like last week to leave the illusion that it was happening in real time. But I don't know if I've ever watched the Hall of Fame. Even when my favorite guys were going in, I'd rather watch the Sports Center watching the highlights of the game after the fact.
And Jay, give us a induction speech for your favorite superstar, the great Khali.
I love rubbing in Stephen A's face. I think a lot of people are going to get in that we like and dislike. I mean, it's just because the Hall of Fame. I think for the past, what, Stephen A. 4 years ago. There was just people get inducted that didn't need to be.
Well, my Mendoza line is Coco Beware. There is no reason for Coco Beware.
That one year.
I couldn't even tell you a match he had other than he had a pair. Like that's my Coco Beware. And wait, him and Owen Hart, had a tag team. My fault. But yeah, like anyways, so
gets in. Yeah, Kelly's there. That the class was packed. I just wanted to throw that out.
Next year is the big year because it's in Texas. There's only one name that makes sense.
Yeah,
Undertaker.
Of course.
Like he's got to go in next year. I mean, and we've already seen him break the character. So now it's like, now I'm okay. Like at first, until we did that Last Ride documentary, I love the mystique of the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he did that, I'm like, well, okay, we broke it. Like, he was doing cameos. He was doing, now he's got an NFT, which I still have no idea what the hell that means or what that's about. I know it's some cryptocurrency that you can own, but whatever. Apparently somebody bid $100,000 to get the first piece of Undertaker NFT. So man, I wish I had $100,000 just to lay around like that. But so Undertaker next year, easy prediction. He'll be the headliner. It's in Texas. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching. Enjoy WrestleMania night 1, night 2, both of them. Enjoy. Yep, it starts tonight, 8:00.
Yeah, live tweeting or what are we doing?
I'll do some live tweeting. I'll get on the Facebook page for Superkickin with Steven, and we'll get this thing rolling tonight. So thank you for having us.
Nice.
Or thank you for being here. And enjoy the night.
Thanks for having me on, Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll end it right